Hello, my little loves. So do you like the book, The Pigeon Wants a Puppy? The pigeon books are some of my favorite books for kindergarten and first grade. They are so funny, and the illustrations are funny, and pigeon is actually good practice in drawing for you guys, learning how to use some basic shapes to draw and make figures. And so in this case, we're going to be drawing pigeon, which is a bird, but we'll be using simple shapes like circles, and we use lots of lines, and you know, his body has got what looks like a semicircle in it, so we'll look at all that in just a second. So your paper should be tall. You need a pencil, okay? And so what you're going to do first is find the middle of your paper. Put your finger there, okay? Or actually put 3 fingers there. Okay, so in the middle of your paper, 3 fingers. All right, now slide your 3 fingers up, not to the top of the paper, but kind of close. Do you see how far my fingers are away from the top of the paper? That's about how far I want your fingers away from the top of the paper, okay? So you've got 3 fingers. We found the center, and then we went up, close to the top, but not at the very tip top. Okay, so take your pencil and just make a really light little dot beside one finger, and then go to the other side, little light dot on that side, okay? My 2 dots are right there. They're really small because I don't want them to show in my drawing in just a second. So can you see my dots? Okay. So now what we're going to do is something a little bit different. I forget about this technique, but this is really good for you guys. I want you to draw with your eraser. So what we're going to draw is we're going to make a circle that will touch these 2 dots, okay? So, and I'm going to make my dots a little bigger so you can see them a little bit better. Don't make yours huge, okay? They just need to be really small for you guys, but I need them to show up on camera really well. So there's my dots. Yours should be much smaller. Okay, so a circle, okay, if you think of it just like a curve, okay, half of a circle is a curve, and then so the other half is another curve. If you will, like, take your eraser, and this is why I asked for you to have a pencil with a good eraser. Take your eraser and kind of draw with your eraser a curve that will connect from dot to dot, okay? And I'm going to lift that up. Can you see that? That's my eraser dust right there. I connected, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do another curve with my eraser, using my eraser, so I can kind of see that's where I need to draw my circle, and that's how big it needs to be. And all I have to do once I draw it, and I'm drawing and it's going over the eraser dust, which is fine. I'm going to draw the bottom part of my circle, which is fine. And then all I have to do very gently is wipe off that eraser dust. And I'm actually going to make my little dots, my dots a little smaller so they don't show up so much. Okay, so there is the circle for the pigeon's head. Okay, so get your circle and very gently just brush away the eraser dust. All right, the next thing we're going to do is 2 lines for the neck. And so the lines are going to start, and they're going to kind of go out just a little bit at an angle. So they're not going to come straight down. They're going to kind of come out just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. So my first one is going to be about right here. And then my second one is actually going to come down a tiny bit lower than the first one. So can you see they're uneven? The one on the right is a little lower, a little longer rather than the one on the left, okay? So this one's a little shorter, this one's a little bit longer. Okay, pigeon has got 2 lines, horizontal lines on the neck, so you can go ahead and draw those. So we have a circle, we have 2 lines that kind of splay out just a little bit, and then we have 2 horizontal lines on the neck. Okay. Do you see how pigeon's belly could be a semicircle, and a semicircle is just half of a circle. Okay, so do you kind of see that shape? It's a little pointier out here on the tail, which is fine. We can do that, but do you see that in the body, how that is almost a half of a circle? Okay, so what we're going to do is from the longer line on the right, I want you to draw a line that goes straight over horizontally. Okay, so a line that lays down is horizontal. And then stop right there. And we're going to do like the two little wings. Pigeon looks like, oh, he's happy, so he's clapping his little wings together. So what we're going to do for that, let me put my finger right here just to kind of show you. I'm going to start a wing right there, so it's kind of close to that left side line. So I'm going to kind of come at an angle and then come up just a little bit. This looks like an L leaning over. Okay, so that's like a letter L kind of leaning backwards. Okay, and then I'm going to come and I'm going to kind of curve and then come up. Looks really weird right now, but it won't in a second. Okay, so I'm really close to this line right here. So what I'm going to do is right at the bottom of this line, I'm going to put a little line right there. Okay, so that kind of almost looks like the top of a tulip. You know how a tulip comes to a point like that and it's got like a little V shape in it. And then I'm going to curve around and come back up. And it almost looks like a drop, like a raindrop kind of shape that's kind of being blocked off by that other wing. Okay, and then for the belly, you're going to start under this kind of teardrop shaped wing, and you're going to come down and come up and connect to your horizontal line that we drew right there. Okay, I'll give you a second to get caught up with me. Okay, so we've got our two wings, belly comes and connects, the legs, one straight and one's kind of bent. So just do two little lines, and you can bend both if you want. You can make both straight, so up to you. And then three little lines coming off the bottom of each one. And then we need to work on the head. So the head has one really big eye. So start with a really nice big circle. Let me bring the paper back over so you can kind of see. Do you see how big that eye is? So it's a big circle, and then it is a smaller circle, but not tiny. And then this will be colored in black, okay? So big circle, smaller circle, and the smaller one will be colored in black. And then for the beak, do two lines. And do you see how I made my two lines kind of wider as they come out? They're kind of narrow attached and then wider as they come out. Now watch this. For the bottom beak, do the bottom line and come back just like a triangle. Okay, so that's the bottom one. Makes it look like a triangle. And the top one curves and connects. Okay, so the bottom one looks like a triangle. The top one looks like a piece of a semicircle. Okay, so there's our pigeon. And do you know on the front of the book, the pigeon has a speech bubble? That's what this thing is with this point, because it looks like the pigeon is talking. So we're going to do a speech bubble. So what I need for you to do is up here by the head, draw a curve and stop at the head. Let's see, and that would come right here, and we're going to come over, drop down like a V, and then come and connect. So that looks like a speech bubble. Okay, now all you need to do is you're going to get to write. I want you to write so that's THE, that was one of your sight words a long time ago. Pigeon. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to write pigeon on the next line. Pigeon is PIGEON. Wants, WANTS. What does the pigeon want? In the book, the pigeon wanted a puppy. But guess what? You get to fill in whatever you think pigeon would want. So, would the pigeon want a toy? Would the pigeon want a cookie? Would the pigeon want I'm going to put something related to art. I'm going to put marker. Pigeon wants a marker, and there's an exclamation point on the end, so it looks like a line with a dot underneath. Okay, once you have your drawing finished, I want you to take a black crayon, and I want you to outline, normally like we would outline or trace with a Sharpie, but I want you to do this today with a black crayon. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eye. I'm going to outline all the parts to my pigeon. And you can do the same. You do not have to go as fast as I'm going. You take your time. But outline your whole pigeon. And then I want you to color it. And you say, what color is pigeon? Pigeon is kind of like aqua. You say, what is aqua? I don't have an aqua crayon. Aqua is blue with a little bitty hint of green. So, and I'm not going to outline my words. I'm just going to leave those as is, but I outlined my speech bubble. So when you color your pigeon, you can take a regular blue, but you need to color very, very, very lightly. Very lightly. Don't mash down hard. Very lightly. And if you want your pigeon to look aqua, when you color very lightly, you can take a green and you can color very lightly green on top. Just a tiny bit, okay? And that will help it look a little bit more aqua. Pigeon's beak is yellow, so you just need yellow for that. And then you'll finish coloring. I'll show you the picture. The rest of him is the aqua color. That little band on the neck is white, so you don't have to color that at all. So you can kind of see the colors up close, what that needs to look like. As soon as you're done too, I would love for you to put your name at the bottom with your black crayon. Can't wait to see your pigeons.